That leads into one of the topics I want to talk about was like art versus commerce. It's like, where does the line draw from creating the art you want to create versus not, it doesn't have, don't have to relate this only to art, but like doing the passion that you want to do versus being able to do it to make money. You know, like it's not selling out, but it's like you will have to morph your art creation passion to one specific topic, you know, where it's like if you're creating a bunch of different styles of music, you got bossa nova, you got Latin, you got jazz, you got hip hop, and all of a sudden hip hop's the one that blows up. Now you have to stay with hip hop, you know? And like these ones kind of disperse while you have to like push this one up to monetize it, you know? It's like where, and maybe that might not be the one you want to go with, you know, you want to keep the options vast, but you can't because now this is where the money's coming from.
It's like, this is paying the bills. So like, what am I supposed to do
Exactly.
if this is my only income? I have to do it.
Complex between making the art you want to make versus what will help you pay rent.
I think it kind of goes back to the balancing that we touched on earlier, where it's like, okay, well, I know that I want to do this for money. So cool. I do my passion for money and I have to deal with the shit that I don't want to do. That's fine. But I'm going to keep a sliver or some portion of my passion that's only for me.
That's cool. Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Or you would say within the same passion, you would rather have one subcategory of that passion to be private or a whole new passion.
Either or.
I feel like what we're talking about now, I feel like a subcategory would keep it the best because then you're still having a private sector in this topic versus like, say I'm enjoying music and cooking is my like one passion that's private. It's like, that's nice, but also I should have something in the same field to make me like still have fire.
You can still
for
enjoy
the
it. Yeah, you would still. It's not like the entire music side of you is just ruined now. Like, yeah, I think I agree with that. I think it's nice to have little parts to kind of keep that flame alive and like, oh yeah, this is why I love what I do. And maybe that'll even shed a little light on the stuff that you don't like to do. That's like, okay, oh wait, this is why I like to do it, and this is just part of the gig. And like, at the end of the day, I am enjoying this, and it's putting food on the table. Like, I should be grateful, and it's hard to be grateful every day. But I think this little bit of perspective can just make it easier to get through the rough patches.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Back to monetizing and getting money from a topic or a passion. Jack White is an artist. I don't know if you know him. He was in the White Stripes.
Oh yeah.
So he's the guy in the White Stripes. He had a quote that said, art doesn't sell itself, it has to be sold.
Right.
So you can create the art and have it as artistic and like true to yourself as you can get it. But at the end of the day, to make the money off of it, you have to sell it, go out and sell it, you know?
So is he saying it is your choice to sell or not sell?
Is that what you feel he's saying by that quote?
Art does not sell itself, it has to be sold. In this context, yeah, that's what it says to me. It's like, you're right, art doesn't sell itself. You can keep it locked away as your own private little thing. Like, this is what I do, this is my enjoyment. No one really needs to see this but me. But you're right, it's, if you want to make money, it's not going to sell itself. So if you want to sell it, you got to put in the work, you have to deal with the shit, you have to hustle.
Yeah.
To make it work.
And find what is making the money and I guess work with that, you know?
One thing I was going to add on, this is backtracking a lot, is like helping people find their passion. We talked about...
Ooh, okay. I have another topic to talk about.
Okay.
Could you backtrack?
Okay.
Nice.
So you mentioned looking at the things you're already doing and finding there. One thing that I think helps a lot is meeting new people. Because we work in the restaurant industry. I remember when I first walked into my first Toronto restaurant that I worked in, and I met all these different people. There was like 50 new people I met in one day. I was like, whoa, so many friends. It was awesome. And then over the next few months, I started to get to know them and talk to them. And I was like, oh shit, like you're an actor and you're working? Like, that's crazy. I never thought about being an actor. Like, oh damn, you're a singer and like you're working here. Like, and it's just all these people, and generally restaurant is where artists go to
industry
people go to work because it's flexible. So I was like, oh right, like I've never thought about being a singer or an actor or a clay sculptor. I
got so confused when you said that. I was like, okay.
Because some things you would just never come across or never think about until you see someone else talk about it with like their own fire and excitement about it. There's this quote or saying that says, 80% of the thoughts we think about in any given day are the same ones that we always think about. So how do you get new thoughts and therefore find new ideas and new passions, new activities to try, or ones that might spark your interest, is talk to different people.
For sure.
Specifically talk to people who are maybe have different views than you and do things very differently, because they think in a totally different way than you do. So that for me was like,
do you mean like outside of the same topic? They do things
same
differently?
topic, different topic, anything.
Yeah,
literally
that's a good way to find.
Just meeting new people in general.
Yeah, that's a good way to find what else is offered.
Yeah, it's like you
because
never know
someone
what's
else,
out there.
yeah, someone else might be doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah, or might have known something or like has some information on it. Obviously, take it with a grain of salt,
that as well, yeah.
but it just can open up a window. Be like, oh, now I can research into if I didn't know what soldering was, I can research into making my own gear.
Mhm.
You know, or I can research into making my own bike.
Okay, this is super we'll get to your point in a second, but I'm wearing this belt and,
I was gonna bring that up earlier.
no, wait, is that what you're gonna bring up?
Not your belt, like your
Okay,
father
okay.
making the
So I
belts.
was wearing this belt and I was like, yo, Mitch, look at my belt. He's like, oh, it's a nice belt. I was like, yeah, my dad made it. He goes, what? So then I basically told Mitch that my dad, he's like, how did your dad come across that? And it's like, my dad was talking to his brother-in-law and his brother-in-law was wearing a nice belt. And my dad says, oh, like, it's a nice belt. Where'd you get it? He goes, oh, I made this belt. My dad's like, what?
Didn't even know you can do that.
And that's what I'm saying is like,
Yeah.
you just never know what's out there. Now my dad makes belts and other leather goods like wallet holders and stuff like that. And they're like crazy colors. Mine's like a nice brown one. There's
So
like
nice.
blue,
Stuff is so
red,
nice.
green, black. They have all these, not bezels, but just like metal pieces, like little
Clamps?
stamped on things.
Okay.
Like, and you can stamp in the leather too. And like, it's so crazy. And my dad's just like having a blast. And this is something that he is monetizing. He sells them on Etsy. It's called
Yeah.
HydeWerks.
HYDE and then WERKS.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll link it. But I asked him like, "Oh, Dad, would you ever want to do this full time?" He goes, I don't know. I kind of want to just do this in my basement on my off time and just watch TV while I do it." I was like, "Oh, damn!" Like in my, I guess I've been not brainwashed, but conditioned to immediately say, "You've got a passion. Let's figure out how to monetize it."
Yeah.
And then only within the last
True.
couple years have I said, "Time out. Let's based off of what I've learned with fitness and monetizing that and how that made me kind of skewed my view of fitness in general. Let's slow down. Like not everything has to be monetized. Some people
He is
do
slightly monetizing it, but at his own rate.
exactly at his own rate in the only way he wants to,
Versus like
his own
if
pace.
it got super big, now he's working on packaging and shipping
Yeah.
and doing all these other things that he might not be interested
Like, he
in.
doesn't care. He just wants to make
Just
belts.
make the belts,
make
sell it
cool
to his
shit.
friends, get a quick buck. That's it.
That's funny. That like
I was
we're having
literally
this talk
gonna bring
now.
that up. Yeah,
No way.
I was literally an hour ago. We talked about that.
Yeah.
But this also goes to Josh's girlfriend Courtney. She does pottery. She does it, and all of her friends and all of us are just like, "Yo, start selling your stuff." And she's like, "Ah, I'm okay." She always gives it away because I brought it up on this podcast before. She just gives it away because she has just too many of it. And she's like, "I don't know where to put it." I'm like, "Yo, if you're gonna give it away, like, try and sell it." And like, all of us were saying it, and now she's like, I don't want to. But now
Yeah.
she's starting to sell a bit more because like she knows that it has value to it, and people were like, "I want to buy it off you. Like, I don't want it for free. Like, let me buy it off you."
You know what? And again, this is me just like projecting my monetize it. An easy way to monetize it without worrying about packaging, worrying about like customer orders and shit like that is just Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
it's just, hey, meet me at this park.
I'll-
I'm just gonna give it to you. Give
Yeah.
me $20, like e-transfer, whatever. It's harder to scale, but if she's not looking to scale and she
And
just loves
yeah,
it,
and as of
then
now, she doesn't want it to be like the number one thing she's doing and like putting all of her eggs in this basket and like doing this. She has her job that she works 9 to 5 or whatever, and she likes to do this on the weekends and make an extra buck.
I'm always impressed by people that are self-aware enough to say, I don't need to make this passion the end all be all. Like
Yeah,
I like it for myself because I had to learn the hard way. And
I feel like we're still doing
maybe
it.
she did too, and my dad learned the hard way as well.
True.
But it's just like, oh damn, like I don't even think about not monetizing or not making it everything. Like for me, it's 100%, it's all or nothing, and it's hard for me to take a step back and not get excited, and just be like, oh wait, why don't I just chill? Like why don't we just take this slow?
This
It's
brings
hard.
it back to the priority. Like, how much of a priority is it to you that this is in your life and its value in your life? You know?
So would you say for someone like Courtney who just enjoys it and makes it and doesn't necessarily want to sell it, but she's starting to, would you say it's low priority then? Or is it high priority because she's prioritizing it as it being her passion?
It's a good question, but it's not like the number one, like you said, like dive all in, end all be all. This is like we need to monetize this to the extent as it can be monetized. You know? I'd say it's high priority in her personal life. Yeah,
So yeah,
but
personally to
not in
her,
her
it's
career
like
life.
this is just I'm gonna prioritize this as it's just for me.
Yeah.